Hello there. How many languages do you speak? Est-ce que vous parlez français? Hablas español? Parlez italiano? 因为我会讲中文、普通話。你識唔識講廣東話？あなたは日本語を話せますか？韓国語を話せますか？Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Praten Sie Svenska? Говорите по-русски? You know, all too often in the Anglo-Saxon world, the answer is, I speak one language. I think that's rather unfortunate.
That was Steve Kaufman, and he is one of my heroes and inspirations. He speaks about, I think, 11 languages, and he wrote this book. It's called The Way of the Linguist, A Language Learning Odyssey, where he talks about how he learned languages and how language learning is easy. Most people don't know what it's about, and everybody can do it, and it's the most beneficial self-improvement activity one can do. Now, it's been said that living in the world and speaking only one language is like living in a big, giant mansion and locking yourself in one little room. I believe that learning a language is the most useful self-improvement activity one can do. Now, most people think it's extremely hard to learn a foreign language, and it requires a lot of time and effort. Well, it's just simply not true. Learning a language is really just as hard as like learning how to play a guitar or really anything else like that. And a lot of people think, well, learning a language is boring. Well, not really. I mean, words and language is just something we use to communicate. If you, let's say, find a movie in the language you're learning that you really like, you'll have fun. If you find a book you really like that's in that language, it'll be fun. It's as simple as that. And a lot of people think, too, that only full possession of a language is valuable. That's simply not true either. I mean, if you can just speak enough just to have a conversation, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. You don't need to be like super fluent to have fun with a language. And a lot of people always say, well, why are you learning that language? That's a useless language. How is that going to benefit you? There's no such thing as a useless language. If you learn a language and come across somebody who speaks that language and just happen to meet a new person and have a fun conversation in that language, it makes it all worth it. And a lot of people have this thing with age, like, oh, I'm too old to learn a language. Well, that age has nothing to do with learning a language. A lot of people think like young children learn languages better. It's just simply not true. I mean, we all learned English, why can't we learn another language? And when you're older, you're more disciplined. You can study better than if you're a young kid. And when people talk to young kids, they always talk in a simple way and simple voice, so of course they're going to learn it. You know? And, I mean, learning a language is quite easy, and anybody can do it. It's really simple. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. There's 3 things. First, you got to get resources. You can't learn a language out of thin air. You have to have something to learn from. And there's lots of books out there. These are both language manuals. This is from the Curriculum series. This is Teach Yourself. This is Swahili, Chinese. These are only like 20 bucks. You can go out and buy these. I mean, they're cheap, and it'll teach you a lot. They come with discs and everything. They come in these really fancy containers. I'm not sure why, but it's just discs and a book, which has exercises and different stuff in it, and basically teaches you the language to a pretty good level where you can have a good conversation. And you can also buy like dictionaries. This is a German to English dictionary. This is a more spendy than 30 bucks, but you can get them for like 10 bucks too. And there's phrase books, real cheap phrase books in just about every language that you can get. I mean, these are like 8 bucks, and it teaches you really useful information. I mean, this is real communication, just the real stuff you need to know. And you can get books in other languages too, and music, all that different kinds of stuff. It's quite easy. And why is it beneficial to know a foreign language? I could talk all day, but a different language is a different vision of life. It's like a whole new perspective on the world. If you learn a language, Because when you learn a language, you not only just learn the language, you learn the culture of the people who speak that language. And the United States is the only industrialized country that graduates high school students without knowledge of a foreign language. And probably the most important thing about learning a foreign language is it improves your employment potential. I mean, you're going to make more money. It's valued in almost every field, not just business, government agencies, engineering, communications, education, international law, economics, advertising, entertainment, software development, and the list goes on. And probably the real important part about learning languages is you're going to make friends who speak that language. I mean, it's going to benefit you for the rest of your life. Now that you know how easy it is to start learning a language and how important it is, I hope you all go home and look up these books and check out my YouTube channel where I give language advice. Feel free to ask me any questions if you want to learn a language. You want to watch one?
Wow, I'm a little bit of him anyway, Tom. I know that guy.
It'll load.
Oh, don't be bashful now. Come on.
Today I want to share with you guys a reason why I really love learning languages.
Turn it up.
The reason is, you never know
But we can go to that. Is it on the YouTube? We can just go right to that.
that speaks a language you know. Like, a couple days ago, I ran into this lady from Germany, and I was like introduced by a friend, and my friend just said, "This guy speaks German." So I just started speaking with her in German, and she asked me where from Germany I was from. She thought I was a German. Like, she said she didn't detect any accent at all. She thought I was German, and that was a really, really amazing compliment.
Well, very good,
Especially
Cody.
since lately I've been really
Thank
trying to
you.
get speaking German
All right, time to
without
check.
an American accent.
6:16.
So the fact that she thought I was
Cody. Yes, are we truly the only country that does not require a second language as a requirement for